Welcome to Focus on Setting Your Foundation. So the feet are the foundation of the body. So we focused on the feet this week in our full-length classes. So I figured I'd give you a little snippet of our classes from this week that focused on the feet. It focused on tuning into the subtler places that we can anchor into that will help to energize the legs, to fuel the muscles, to in turn support the joints, that can help you in seated postures as well as standing. So I'm going to show you one of the postures that we did in class, the seated version, and then the subsequent standing version. Do whichever one is available for you. All right, so we're going to start in the usual fashion, finding a chair with no wheels, no arms, some space around you to move, and then just a little movement. I always like to start with a little bit of movement just to get out of our heads a little bit. Take a few breaths, checking into any place you're feeling tension so energy can flow, which in turn helps us to receive information better. And then when you're ready, coming into seated mountain. Off the back of the chair, if possible, allowing yourself to be supported. If you have any muscular issues or anything you need that support, take it. If you don't, sit forward and then bring your shoulders over hips, legs straight out of hip sockets, knees over ankles, about hips width distance apart. And now we're going to play with our feet. So imagine your feet are on a map and we're going to lift into the north and then roll to the south. So we're just going to kind of roll our feet around this imaginary map, rolling to the north, rolling to the south, warming up the feet. And then we can go to the east and the west. And then you can roll in and roll out, so do opposites. So we're just tuning into sending signals to the brain. This is where the bottom of my feet are, right? So that's where we're going to start. We want to just bring some awareness of our brain to our feet so we can really tune into that foundational part of ourselves. Then I'm going to invite you to just lift your toes and see if you can tune into or feel the arch of the foot lifting, and in turn, maybe feel the corners of your feet, or as my yoga teacher calls them, the table legs of your feet. So relax your toes. We don't want to cramp. We'll go in a couple of times. Lift your toes again, holding, and the four corners I'm referring to are the base of the big toe at the ball mount and the base of the little toe at the ball mount, and then either sides of the heel. So see if you can feel that. And then if possible, spread and lower your toes, and then release. So we're just working to gently engage, tune into, feel, activate the bottoms of our feet. So let's do that again. Lift your toes. See if you can spread your toes. That might even help you feel it a little more. The arch lifting, the four corners. If you can feel the four corners, push into them and see if you can notice the muscle hugging to bone. See how I'm getting a little lift. See if you get a little lift. And then soften and release. Now, if you felt that in your knees, you want to adjust your stance, your alignment, so that when you lift the toes and engage, you feel it in the muscles, not in the joints. Having said that, if you have tender knees, you can still get to the same muscles by lifting the toes and clenching your buttocks. It'll still engage the muscles in the same way, while still honoring knees that may be healing or just are tender and need a little more loving care. If it is possible, we're going to now lift your toes, feeling into the four corners of the feet, and then maybe feel the shoulders lift as you inhale with that lift support, and then exhale, slide the shoulder blades back and down, tailbone into the earth, and then soften your toes and relax them. This time, we're going to lift the toes, feel into the four corners, engage, and then spread and lower your toes as you find a little more lift. So we're finding a nice firm foundation, a nice wide base to lift up into as the shoulders lift, inhaling. And then exhaling, shoulders back and down, tailbone into the earth, and just relax your feet. We don't want to find any cramping by, over-engaging or overstaying our welcome in any muscle that might need a counter stretch, right? In yoga, there's a lot of counter stretching for a reason. It enforces healthier muscles. You want a muscle that can fully engage and fully relax. So let's do that one more time. We're going to lift the toes, feeling the arch lift, pressing to the four corners, spreading the toes as best you can and lower them to the floor, and then press into that whole foundation as you inhale, lift, shoulders rise, exhaling, shoulder blades down the back, tailbone into the earth, and then paddle out the feet. So you may already feel the legs are more active. You may have felt the muscles hugging to bone. Now, what this does is helps us to find a firm foundation to do other things like coming off of center and coming back. So let's play with that a little bit. And this is the posture we did in class. And then I'll show you the standing version. So you can see how it can also, tuning into the subtle nuances of how to engage your feet can help support standing postures, can help support postures that go off center and bring you back, in addition to the core and other muscles you recruit for those kinds of things. But it really helps the nuances. I know we all have our teachers' voices in our minds, right? For certain things, I've gotten little jewels along my yoga journey. And I remember one teacher in particular, just by telling me to press into the ball mound under my big toe, completely changed rotated triangle for me, completely changed, energized, lifted it. So these subtle energies, once you get into the deeper parts of your practice, can really help you enhance deeper. So let it be an exploration, but it's kind of a fun part of the journey, I find. So let's do that one more time. We're going to lift the toes, spread and lower. And now we're going to inhale, get tall. Exhale, I'm going to invite you to soften into your back body. And now soften a little at the feet, but still feel that awareness with your hands to the side of the chair. And now pressing into your foundation, inhale, get tall. And then with the foundation intact, we're just going to hinge forward. One long line of energy from crown to tail. Don't let the chin jet forward or anything come out of alignment. Keep everything aligned. And then press into your foundation. Inhale, realign that back body with that back wall. And then exhale, soften. Relax your feet. Let's do that same thing one more time. And if you need to lift the toes and spread them to really engage and feel that, go for it. It's part of the journey. When you're ready, root to rise, inhale, exhaling, hinging forward, back body's coming with you, and then push back up. You feel your core will engage to help with this, and then exhale, release. Okay, so you can keep going like that. I call that the base model. If you feel like you want to add the upper body, it's totally optional. Always options in yoga, and take what is authentically true or feeling like your edge, the right place for the perfect amount of challenge, or your Goldilocks spot, I would say. So bring your, if you'd like to, fingers to shoulders, stir the elbows, just give them a couple of circles if we're going in cold. And then let the upper arms come parallel to the floor. If you find you're kind of taking space away from the neck and you have tight shoulders, soften the elbows down and the shoulder blades down your back. So it doesn't need to be all the way up. And then forearms extend. So we're in cactus. So the temptation here as we hinge forward is going to be to really come out of alignment. So what this does is keeps the integrity of the spine so we can really work the muscles we want to work and not put tension where we don't want to. Same foundation prep, either press and engage or lift toes, spread, lower, then press and lift. We're going to inhale together. And then as you exhale, back body's intact. We're hinging. You might go 1 degree off center, maybe 5, maybe 10, while staying intact. And then press down, lift up, inhale. Exhale, soften. We'll go one more time right into it. Either lift and spread and lower or just press. Inhale, tall. Neck is free and relaxed. Exhale, hinge. As far as you can go without losing the integrity of the spine. Press into your foundation. Inhale, back upright. And then exhale, soften and lower. So you can feel the difference when you're aligned. Hopefully you feel the muscles having been worked in a healthy way and no tension having been built in the spine. So that is one way that we can use the feet, the foundation, to help us come back upright. And now, in a moment, I'm going to show you how to apply that to a standing posture. So with that awareness of your feet, in a standing posture, if it's available, I'm going to invite you to face the back of your chair. We're going to be coming into a version of Warrior One and have the back of the chair towards you if you need it for balance. Sometimes it's nice for moral support. And then come into Mountain. So your feet are hips width distance, knees over ankles, hips over knees, shoulders over hips, ears over shoulders, hands are at your sides or on the chair. And then soften your knees and then just lift your toes. See if you can feel how it sense how it feels standing. You'll feel the kind of calves lift. Maybe you'll lift your kneecaps and hug the quadriceps to continue that engagement on up. And then spread and lower your toes. Just to kind of get that sense. And then just kind of dribble out the legs standing. One more time, we're going to lift the toes. So we're sensing, we're not looking, right? It's totally how we feel. I mean, you can take a peek to see how well your toes are answering the call to spread, and then lower. That takes practice. That's taken me a long time to get the toes to spread. So that's practice. And then dribble out the legs. And now let's take this into warrior one. So sliding back with the left foot, you're going to find your heel on the left foot. Left toes are pointing towards the left front corner of your mat or chair. And then the right toes are pointing forward. Finding a little bit of movement. We'll then snuggle into this foundation. So knee over ankle, press into both feet. So if you want to engage this foot a little more, you can lift the toes again. Feel the arch lift, feel the four corners engage. You might even feel the calf lift, energy going up the leg. And then if possible, spread and lower the toes. So now you've got this wide, firm foundation to support you. Make sure the knee stays over the ankle from here on in, and then bring your hands to your hips. Make sure the shoulders aren't rounding forward, so shoulder blades down the back, tailbone towards the back heel. So from here, we're going to hinge like we did when we were sitting. And the temptation, again, is to let the chin fall forward, but let your feet support you in letting the spine just hinge in one piece. So pressing into your feet, inhale, get tall. Exhale, hinge forward. You're going to anchor into the back foot, making sure this knee stays over the ankle. And again, you might go 1 degree, 5, 10, however far. And then press into your feet, engage your abs. Lift yourself back upright, inhaling. And then exhale, release, relax your toes. Let's have one more go there. If it's available, lift the toes, spread and lower them. And again, a little bit of movement goes a long way. You might feel your legs are kind of fired up right now. Press into your feet, hug, snuggle into the back body, and then we'll inhale. Exhale, press into your feet, hinging forward. So the feet, the legs are supporting this movement. And then they, along with the core engagement, are going to support you coming back up on an inhale. And then exhale, releasing. Come out for a moment, lift the heel, lift the front toes. We don't want to cramp. If it's available, you may want to roll over the back toes to stretch the top of the foot. Only if it's available. If you have crampy toes, it's okay. We want to honor our bodies. And then let's set up our foundations again. Hips and shoulders facing forward. Left toes to the left front corner of the mat or chair. Right toes forward, knee over ankle. Okay? And you can have the same idea without the, I don't want to call them training wheels. It's kind of like enhancements to really feel this. You can either feel them right away, or if you need to, lift the toes, lower to reestablish that. And then you can, again, base model if you'd like. If you want to add the arms, fingertips to shoulders, stir the elbows up and back and down till the upper arms are parallel to the floor, and extend the forearms into cactus. Again, soften as you need to. Pressing into both feet, inhale, get tall. Exhale, in one piece, we're hinging forward, only going so far as not to lose the integrity of the spine. And then press into your feet, hug your belly, and hinge back up, inhaling. Exhale, just soften for a moment. Jaw, shoulders, tail. And then one more time, energize, lift, inhale. Exhaling, hinging forward as far as you can. Go to your Goldilocks edge, and then inhale back upright. And then exhale, lower the hands and release. Lift the heel, lift the front toes, roll over the back toes if you like. If you want to counter the stretch, you can lower the back heel and lift the front toes to get an upright runner stretch. To soften the calf. Stretch the shin, and then low forward and step back together to mountain. So let's do the other side. Actually, before we do the other side, just take a moment, see if you can notice the effects of the practice, not for judgment's sake, but just kind of assess. I feel my calves kind of strong. I feel my thighs solid. I feel my right foot is really worked and flexible and kind of intelligently connecting with the floor, right? We have 26 bones in each foot. They're all meant to articulate as best they can. I call that intelligent feet. There's actually a video that I created, I don't remember how long ago, that is focus on your feet. And that's about massaging and keeping your feet nice and flexible to keep the fascia open. All right, so you're going to stay where you are. I'm going to move my chair. And if you feel uneven, it's okay. We're about to balance out. So we're in mountain. Slide back with the right foot. And always start with a little bit of movement. Free your breath, relax your mind. Sometimes we grip our bodies or our minds before. We want to come in a nice relaxed way. And then find the shape, knee over ankle, press into the back foot. And if you'd like to activate the leg, and again, the chair is here if you need it, hands to chair or hands to hips. And then if it's available, lift the toes, notice what you feel, and then spread and lower the toes. Nice wide foundation. Pressing into both feet. Inhale, get tall. Hands to chair or hips. Exhale, hinging forward again if you can without losing the integrity of the spine. It might be far if you've been practicing for a while. It might not be. And then inhale, come back up. And exhale, soften. We'll do that one more time. Engage the legs. Inhale, lengthen, lifting and spreading the toes if you need to. Exhale, hinge. Pressing into the back foot. Make sure this knee does not go past the ankle of the front leg. And then inhale, hinge back up. And exhale, release. We're going to release fully. Lift the back heel, lift the front toes. Curling over. And that is going to release the calf and stretch the shin. It's the opposite of what I said from before. And then come back in on the other side. Okay, so finding that warrior one foundation. Again, if you want to really engage the legs, really fire them up, lift the toes on the front foot, spread and lower them. So now you feel that foot fully connecting to the floor as best you can. And then if you want to add the arms, fingers to shoulders, stir one rotation, upper arms parallel to the floor, forearms extend, softening if you need to. Press into both feet, inhale, get tall. Exhale, one long line of energy. We're hinging forward. Front knee stays over the ankle. You can do this with one hand too. I just wanted to mention that. Inhale, back up. Exhale, soften the back body. And one more time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhaling and hinging, feeling that back body intact. If you start to lose the integrity of the spine, you've gone too far. And then inhale, back upright. And then exhale, release. Rock and roll forwards and backwards. Lift the toes. Lift the back heel. Roll over the back toes. And if you want to get the runner stretch to counter, soft right knee. Lift the left toes and hips come back into a tall runner's lunge. Just take a breath. Stretching that calf. Shortening the shin. And then rock and roll forwards and backwards. Step the back foot up to meet the front and root down, rise up, inhale. Exhale, soften into your back body. So, having an awareness of all the pieces of your feet and tuning into the nuances of the different aspects of your feet or the different subtle areas of your feet can really help you find nice alignment and just move in a more healthful way. So I hope you found this helpful. If so, please leave it in the comments. We're here to support each other. And I hope to see you next time. Thanks so much for watching.